Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. We're doing another Old Farts Watching Anime, and this one's not only completely random, but it sounds a little intriguing to me. We just saw the name and we thought we gotta try this one out. It's called The Devil is a Part-Timer. Apparently one of these kids in the show is Satan himself, but just as a teenager or something like that from the little blurb we've been able to read about it. Don't know anything about this, so we thought we'd try it out. So let's see what it's like. Let's check out The Devil is a Part-Timer. What?
The undeniable problem is we currently have no way to amass more. However, if the Earth is familiar with the concept of magic, even as imaginary, we may have a chance.
Holy Potter.
The path left to us now is to discover that method. Not far, just to the train station. I work at the McDonald's over there.
Thanks.
McDonald's? And that was The Devil is a Part-Timer, and I have to say, overall, I really enjoyed that one. For a surprise random choice, that was a lot of fun. I mean, it was the proverbial fish out of water story with Satan, I guess, and his buddy Alciel trying to live in modern Tokyo as just a couple of kids. So, really enjoyed. Now I have a few criticisms. Really enjoyed the animation. Loved that. Really enjoyed kind of the middle third of the show where they've just arrived and they're with the police and all that kind of stuff. That was really well done. Very snappy comedic timing with some of the funny sequences of Alciel trying to cast a spell and nothing ends up happening. That was good. But I guess my problems with it were the beginning. I thought we had not set our subtitles or in English setting properly. We were watching this through Netflix. And so we thought, okay, maybe we should enable subtitles because they're speaking their fantasy language for like long stretches with no indication what's going on. No translation, no subtitles, no nothing. We're kind of left to our own devices to understand it or to, I guess it's implied what's going on, but we don't know who these characters are that are fighting against them. And I don't even think it was clear how they ended up in modern day Tokyo, but yeah, that was a bit weird. And I suppose my other complaint would be the last third kind of lost a bit of momentum. I think it was only for me personally at the end when he meets up with the girl who he gives the umbrella to halfway through the show. And she seems to know that he's some kind of magic spellcaster, that I was suddenly roped back into the story. I was like, ooh, how does she know that? And of course, that's when the credits roll. So a nice little cliffhanger to end on. But yeah, overall, I really, really enjoyed that. And what a pleasant surprise. What did you think, Dee?
No, I really did enjoy it. It was quite funny, which I was surprised about. I think right at the very beginning it was a little, I mean, they did do the intro about, you know, what was going on the islands and everything like that. It was when they got to the center island where Satan, you know, was supposed to live, and that it got confusing of who was fighting whom.
Yeah.
That was a bit confusing. And you're right. I was like, did we do something wrong because we're not getting English here?
Yeah, and it was like 5-10 minutes into the show before the cops show up and they're speaking in English that there's any recognizable dialogue.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there going, maybe we should start again and enable subtitles because it's clearly lots of dialogue and we have no clue what's going on.
As you said, it was a lot of fun. You know, when we kind of got to the, you know, the day-to-day with them having to figure out, you know, that they needed a job and that they, you know, needed a place to live and stuff, it did kind of lag a bit. But at the end, it was just like, there was that catch, like, ooh, what's going on here? She knows something's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the beginning bit with no dialogue, I was reminded of I think it was my brother was saying years ago, there was talk that when Mel Gibson was making The Last Temptation of Christ, he was going to do it all in the native language of the time. Like they were going to historically recreate what people spoke like back then and have no subtitles at all originally. And people were like, that would be ridiculous. But then the kind of notion was, well, everybody knows that story, so you don't need to have subtitles. And I was kind of getting that a little bit with this. It's ironic, this one's also got Satan in it. I was getting that a little bit with this, where it's like, you know what, maybe we're going to trust in the audience that we don't need to explain line by line what the conversation is all about. Maybe something like that.
Possibly, yeah.
I am curious about why they go with specifically with Satan and I mean, even beyond him, some of the other sort of demon type forms at the beginning of the show have also got devil-like names. I think one of them was Lucifer as well. And I was just like, wow, they're going like full-bore religious text on this one, which is odd for a Japanese anime translation into English. I don't know if somebody just thought, oh, we'll just grab demon names and didn't fully think through what that referred to. I don't know.
There was also blood in there too. So yeah.
Oh yeah, this is like set for a maturing type of an audience. I mean, it's got goofy kids in it, which is great. And I really like, again, much like with Heavy Object, I really like the fact that we're not following that cookie cutter kid who has ultimate power and is sort of a goofball most of the time, but then channels great power when the chips are down. I like the fact that these are two beginning off very powerful beings who are now stripped down to being just these goofy kids, and they speak like highly intelligent beings who are all like, clearly currency is an important thing in this world. And I kind of like that. It was refreshing. A little bit like Full Metal Alchemist. We're following characters we don't normally follow in most of the anime that I've ever seen. So I like that.
Yeah, it was good.
What else? I guess that's pretty much everything we can say about it. For a piece of anime that we just grabbed because the title looked funny, I was very impressed. I would actually watch more of that. I had a laugh.
Yeah, I would as well. Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that'll do for now, and until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.
See you next time.